Right then guys, here I am for a quick but important channel update video because this channel is changing names. I say is changing because, well, by the time I've uploaded this video I will have made all the changes on my end, but I know it can take a while for YouTube to process all of the changes, I think especially the channel art. So if you've clicked on this video with the old channel name or the old channel art, then that's purely because YouTube is still processing it. Anyway, this channel is no longer called PSLutonrules, it's called PSL Racing. Now, I could talk for a few minutes about why I've wanted to ditch the PSLutonrules channel name, but I'm not really going to bore you with that. Although, if you are interested, in a few days' time I am going to put up a community post, purely because even though I've made this video, I know for a fact I'm going to get comments a few days, possibly even a few weeks from now, from people saying, "Oh, I didn't realise you changed your channel name," or "Why have you done that?" So I'm hoping by putting out a community post and offsetting it by a few days, I hope I'll get fewer comments from people asking me why I've changed my channel name or when I did that. So I will put in that community post why I wanted to get rid of the channel name PSLutonrules if you're interested, but in short, I just wanted a channel name which is less embarrassing, childish in a way actually, but also just more representative of me as a person and the sort of videos I make. Now of course the channel name PSL Racing does sort of box me into racing game videos, or certainly just racing videos in general, but that's fine. I mean, there have been occasional deviations from racing game videos in the past, for example the Driver 3 videos, or even last year I made a couple of videos on FIFA 18, the World Cup mode on that game, where I simulated the World Cup before it happened in real life, or certainly before it finished in real life, and correctly predicted that France would win the World Cup. So there have been the occasional deviations from racing game videos in the past, but very, very occasional, and that's still going to be the case now. I mean, I don't want you to think that because I've changed channel name and channel art and all the rest of it, that that's symbolic of some major changes on the channel, because it really isn't. I'm still going to make the same videos on the same games and do the same series that I always have done in the past. My approach towards the channel won't change at all just because I've changed the channel name. So just like in the past, there will still be the occasional, very occasional videos which aren't on racing games, but that's always been the case. And actually, I think that's why back in the day when I started making videos on this channel, which was, God, nearly 5 years ago, it was September or October 2014 when I started. Originally, back then, the channel was going to be much broader in scope. There were going to be more driver videos, hence why the intro to the channel was inspired by Driver 3. And also there were going to be, well, it was going to be a driving game channel, that's really how I saw it. Although having said that, I do remember making a video on FIFA 15 when it was new, so I think that gives you an idea of how broad the channel was going to be. It just so happened to develop into an F1 game channel. It was always going to be a largely F1 game channel, but, well, the F1 Manager series really took off. Then it turned out I was able to understand enough how Grand Prix Manager 2 works to make a series on that. Then it turned out I was able to get Grand Prix World working on modern computers, so I was able to make a series on that. The reverse grid videos, they started off as a couple of one-offs, then turned into a series on F1 Championship Edition. Then it turned out that I was able to do that reverse grid concept on Formula 1 2001 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and technically I could do it on F106 as well if I wanted to. So that's the thing, is those videos, I mean, those are just the popular videos. Also, more recently, the all 10 seasons of career mode video, or just all seasons of career mode videos in general, they have also taken off, starting with F1 2016. And actually, I think 2016 was probably the year where the old vision for the channel well and truly died. Because also, I think the last time I uploaded a video on a Gran Turismo game was 2016. And that's the thing, is that's why I've called this channel PSL Racing, because I don't want to rule out the possibility of making a video on a Gran Turismo game. And actually, to be honest, Gran Turismo is an interesting one because that really is a sliding doors moment, because I've made a few videos on Gran Turismo in the past. I think one of them is actually one of my most watched videos ever. Gran Turismo 2 with the Renault Espace F1, I think that's up there in my top 20, let's say, most watched videos of all time. And generally speaking, most of the videos I've made on Gran Turismo have done quite well views wise. Long and short of it, if you want to do well on YouTube, if you want to get views, don't make F1 game videos. It's such a niche. Even specialising in Gran Turismo is better. But I enjoy making the videos I make on the F1 games, and you know, a few of the series have taken off, but even the ones that haven't, all of the other championships and one-off videos I've done on the F1 games in the past, I've enjoyed the vast majority of them. But I don't want to rule out the possibility of making videos on Gran Turismo games, or even Grid, because of course Grid, the new Grid game's coming out in October. Yeah, because it was September and that's been delayed. And actually, I was thinking about this earlier on, I have never made, astonishingly to me at least, I've never made a video on a Grid game. Which is incredibly strange actually, because I can think of at least a few good ideas. And who knows, I might well make a video on the new Grid game when it comes out. It really depends. I mean, I'm not the sort of person who gets a new game and then does a career mode or a let's play. I try and look for something interesting in a game which, generally speaking, hasn't been covered by anyone else. And if there is something I can think to make a video on or a series on Grid, then I will do that. So that's the thing, that's why I didn't call the channel PSL F1, because to me, it is a racing game channel. Formerly a driving game channel, but now a racing game channel. Or even Dirt actually, because the series I made on Dirt 4 is, I think, the series I am most proud of. I've actually recorded about 80% of the total footage needed to do that series again on Dirt Rally 2.0, and I haven't got round to editing that into videos. And well, I mean, it's such a low priority at this point because of course of F1 2019 having been out and all the rest of it. I could still make those videos on Dirt Rally 2.0. I mean, it wouldn't get any views, but I would enjoy making the videos, and I think that sums up my approach to the channel. If I had an infinite amount of time to make videos, then I would have made that Dirt Rally 2.0 series by now, for sure, no doubt about it, because I think they would be good videos, but the F1 2019 videos are a higher priority. The Grand Prix World Series is a higher priority. Actually, I'll talk about the videos I'm planning to make and am making in a short while, but long and short of it, this channel is changing name. But that's it, or has changed name. As I said, it depends on whether YouTube has processed all of the changes yet. But this channel isn't changing. The same channel that you guys have watched for, I don't know, it depends how long you've been subscribed for. Weeks, months, potentially years, who knows. There could well still be some of you who subscribed, you know, almost exactly 5 years ago still watching now. And if you are, that is amazing. But the channel name is changing. That's really more for my sake because, you know, as far as you guys are concerned, nothing is going to change on the channel. Anyway, that summarises the channel name change, and since I am making a channel update video, I may as well give you guys a quick update as to the videos I'm making. So, well, there's 4, I was going to say series, that wouldn't be strictly true, let's say strands. Yeah, 4 strands of videos I'm currently working on. First, the top priority are the F1 2019 videos. The 2 things I've been asked most often about videos on F1 2019. First is, am I going to make a video on Suzuka Short? Yes. The reason I haven't done yet is because, well, when the game came out, the AI were underpowered in wet conditions. Now they're overpowered in the rain, so I'm kind of waiting for the AI to be at a reasonable pace in wet conditions before I make the Suzuka Short videos. But once that happens, I will make those videos. Or even if Codemasters never fix it, I will make the video even if the AI remain overpowered in the wet. And of course, the other thing I am asked a lot about videos on F1 2019 is, am I going to make the all 10 seasons of career mode video on F1 2019? Yes. Yes, in short. I mean, I've already done 5 seasons. I'm on the 6th season of career mode, and actually there are going to be a couple of spin-off videos to the all 10 seasons video this year, one of which will be the next video I upload on F1 2019, 5 seasons of driver transfers, which, well, that's going to be chaos. You know, as a video it's going to be not entirely what I hoped it would be, because I was hoping I'd be able to work out how the driver transfers worked, but it's just impossible. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not helped by the fact that version 1.05 completely changed everything, or a lot of how it worked, so it was impossible to work out, and now it's contradicting itself. So anyway, that is, you know, just one of the many videos I've got planned for F1 2019, so that summarises that. Grand Prix World is the second priority, and that's going to carry on as per usual. Not really much to talk about there, actually. I mean, the only thing that does annoy me is, well, I am probably not even halfway through the Grand Prix World series, and I started it over a year ago. But I mean, I've got to finish off this season, the 2001 season. I'm going to have to do the 2002 season at least, and even if I win a championship in 2002, which is possible but not exactly guaranteed, I'd want to do the 2003 season at least, because in the F1 Manager and Grand Prix Manager 2 series I've done at least one season where I try and defend my championship. So you're talking 3 seasons at least. It's going to be a while before that Grand Prix World series is over, but I'm trying to keep the uploads consistent. I've failed at that spectacularly, but I'm just trying to keep that series ticking over, but certainly that series isn't going anywhere. The third strand is the all 7 seasons of career mode video on F1 2010. Now, I've actually recorded all of the footage for that series, but then F1 2019 came out, that took priority, and here we are. I've recorded the footage, I've even made the graphics for that series, which are, they're function over form, certainly. I plan to get the F1 2010 all 7 seasons of career mode video out in the not too distant future. Well, it's been almost a year since I made the all 5 seasons of career mode video on F1 2012. That was sometime in August, I think the 20-something of August. So I kind of hope to get the F1 2010 all 7 seasons of career mode video out about a year after the F1 2012 video went out. So yes, the all 7 seasons of career mode video on F1 2010, that is largely done. I just need to finally get round to making it, but of course F1 2019 and even Grand Prix World to an extent takes priority on that. And finally, F104, the reverse grid series on F104. Actually, to be honest, I've just noticed all of those strands, all of the videos I'm working on are on F1 games. So if anyone was worried that I'm going to be making less F1 game videos, that really isn't the case. Certainly not for the rest of this year at least. Anyway, the F104 reverse grid series, that's an interesting one, because I've actually recorded every single race apart from the Australian Grand Prix. Now that might sound odd, and that's because, well, the F104 reverse grid series is actually going to be done in a different way to the others, because, well, anyone who's been on the TV mode on F104 will know it's very minimalist. There's no visual information at all. Basically, everything you need to know to follow a race is given to you audibly, and if I was to record a live commentary video, I can't exactly commentate and listen to what James Allen and Martin Brundle are saying, so that's what makes it tricky. So all of the races, apart from possibly the Australian Grand Prix, are going to be conveyed in a scripted, a sort of season review style video. So, I mean, I want the Australian Grand Prix, or I'm certainly toying with the idea of doing the Australian Grand Prix in the traditional live commentary format. I'm certainly going to give it a go. I might never release it because it might be a car crash, because trying to follow a 50% distance race with no visual information, and I've got to work out which cars to follow and remember the order and remember who's pitted, what order everyone was in before they pitted, and then try and work out, I mean, it's just chaos. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do. It's doable for the most part without commentating, but doing it and commentating is going to be a car crash, but I will give it a go. So, I mean, even ignoring all of that, the fact of the matter is, the Grand Prix World Series, the F1 2019 videos, and the F1 2010 all 7 seasons of career mode video all take priority above the F104 Reverse Grid series, but certainly that has been recorded almost in its entirety, and once I'm working on fewer projects, fewer videos simultaneously, I will start working on the F104 series. But, you know, there's going to be a bit of a wait for that series to start, but hopefully not too long. Anyway, I think that's pretty much everything for this channel update. I hope it didn't go on for too long. And anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video, which will probably be the next Grand Prix World episode, unless it went out before this channel update video. Well, it's either going to be Grand Prix World Part 24, or it's going to be the all 5 seasons of driver transfers on F1 2019. I don't know why I said all 5 seasons, I literally just mean 5 seasons of driver transfers on F1 2019's career mode. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this video, and if you've got any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments, because undoubtedly I forgot to mention something or I've been confusing in some aspect. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video with the channel now known as PSL Racing.